Welcome to my latest video. So our client wanted to be able to do everything within the edit screen of a deal. So he wanted to be able to add the items that belong to the deal. He also wanted to be able that all these, he basically wanted to build a project also here so that all these items would then go into projects. And following on from that, these will all go through to books. So the way we did it was that we built this subform. So it had an approved tick, the name of the task. I just called it first task. The parent task, the budget allocation, the fixed cost fees, people hours. So I'll just go in depth here. So the task is what the name would appear in books and also in projects. But they also want to be able to create subtasks here. So what I suggested is that we create another column called parent task, and within that they would actually list the name of the parent task. So you can see first task, which has no parent task, and then the next line is first subtask, which I called, and it's the parent of the first task. And I've created another one called the second subtask, and it's a child of the first task. Here you can see there's another task, just called second task, and it's got nothing along with it. So this will be a parent on its own. Budget allocation, this is where we assign it to the items essentially in books. So we would populate the products with the items that's from books, and we could list it here. And you'd see that we would actually append any tasks in projects with this budget allocation. Then they wanted all sort of calculations here, so you can see there's a fixed cost checkbox. If that's not ticked, then that basically says the total would be the fees times the people hours, which you can see is 2,000. So they wanted to also put in a zero fee and 10 hours, so they wanted to know how much each subtask they would allocate to people. So here there's no cost involved, but they want to allocate 10 hours for that subtask essentially, and 30 hours for that subtask. On this line, you can see the fixed cost is selected, and we put in a cost of 3,000. So no matter what you have in here, it's still 3,000. So they use this basically for duration of projects and those kind of stuff. Let me just create a few more here quickly. Task. And they also want to be, so if the client came back to them and said, we want to be able to say, okay, that's been approved, but that's not been, so only these that have been approved should go across. I'm just going to say approve all of these just so I can demonstrate to you. And that should be okay. So if I click on save. Just populated all that in the subform. I've already got a project here. Let me just okay, so I've created a project as you would normally, but if I go to this project, just takes a while. Okay, if I go to the tasks, there's nothing here in the screen. So if you go back to the CRM, I've created a button here called Create Project Tasks. So once they're happy here and it's all been won, the status is won and all that, they would essentially click on this button. Let's click on Create. Let's go in, just hold on, waiting for it. And now it pops up saying task created. If I go tasks, and there are your tasks. You can see for first task. So first task, we've got the parent task, which is the first task, and here first subtask, second subtask, which is the child of the first task. So if we go here, it's created the parent and then the subtask, and it's created each one of these. As you can see, there's 3 lines here essentially. It's created a task list for each one. There you can see there's no subtask where there's a new subtask. Then following on that, they would manage the project, and once the project was done, they would then populate all this data to books, which will be in one of the future videos on how we did that and how we came circumnavigated around the issue, because they had 10 organizations, and as you know, Zoho CRM only integrates with one organization in books. So we had to find a way of how to populate in the relevant books org based on information in the deal. But we'll show you that next time. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.